Hello, welcome back to PlayStation Access. My name's Nathan, I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, today I want to tell you about Skull and Bones.
I want to listen, Nath.
This is a naval battle game, which I'm sure you are aware of.
I am aware of it.
Coming from Ubisoft and primarily led by their Singapore studio, but based very much on, or an extrapolation of, the naval combat which has been in the Assassin's Creed games for a little while now.
My God. I mean, Rob and I have talked about this for years.
I know.
The naval battles.
I remember when we were years ago at Yogscast in the office, and you were like, "They should make a game of this."
They should do it,
and they obviously had bugged our
have.
office because they have.
That tech was so good then.
Yeah,
and that was years ago now.
Dude, and the thing was, weird thing for me today. I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that has naval combat in it, and then I went to play Skull and Bones, and it was just like very similar, but like obviously more complicated and a bit of like just another level. And this is how, right? Okay. So one of the first things it's multiplayer.
Okay.
I'm in like an I would call it an archipelago of various
dangerous
other ships. There's kind of Portuguese, British ships.
Right.
Very well populated. Don't know if that's just for the demo or not.
Okay.
But then among that, every now and again, you'll see like a player ship, and they're the ones you want to kill, right?
Right. Okay. So it's a bit like Battlefront in that Star Wars Battlefront in that way of there are AI control ships and player ships. The AI are a bit more kind of fodder.
And I'm in there doing objectives like kill 3 Portuguese ships.
Yeah.
And then when I see a person, obviously I want to kill the person and get all their loot. Like that's immediately what I want to do.
Okay, I see.
And at the beginning, you have a choice of 3 different sorts of ships.
Okay.
I think in the final game you'll probably have a wider range of choice, but this to give us an idea. These are, one of them was like middle ground, one of them was very maneuverable but less firepower. One of them was like a hulking great frigate and hard to turn but like would smash you up if it came aside you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the first things I noticed was you got that up on the deck at the stern of the ship.
Right.
I should have really,
the poop deck, I believe that is.
It isn't a poop deck, Dave.
I think it might be.
But there is such a thing as a poop deck.
I know, that's why I said it.
I believe the poop deck is the deck above that.
Okay, fine. Well, I thought you meant the very back.
I wonder why poop deck is called a poop deck, but I'm not going to think about that now.
Answers in the comments below.
And one of the big differences from Assassin's Creed, because obviously Assassin's Creed's got a lot of other business to do.
Yes, yeah.
Was just the ship looked much better. And as you were on these kind of rolling waves, and you can see the kind of front end of the
bow,
the aft. Good. The front of the ship is going up and down in the waves, but the water is coming onto the deck, just sloshing around.
Yeah.
And it looked great. And everyone was singing, and I know that happens in Assassin's Creed too. But I just had this kind of, I think roistering is the word. I was just having a roisteringly good time.
Wow, that sounds very good.
I mean, this is the inspiration this game has given me. So I'm just having like a real good time on the waves. And one of my first objectives was look at some of the shipwrecks in the area, just see what you can glean from them.
Okay.
So, there's investigation in this. Didn't spend too much time doing that because I wanted to fight. Smashed up a Portuguese ship just for a laugh.
Yeah.
Then I disguised myself as a Portuguese ship so I could sail closer to other Portuguese ships, and then I destroyed them too.
Okay, can I just butt in here with a question?
Yes,
are you, when you say you were playing as multiplayer, are you manning? Are you part of a crew?
No, and I don't know about that. I'm not sure how that works.
That's fine. So you were the captain of your ship.
Yes.
And you were controlling it.
Yes. Little tap of triangle. Suddenly I'm up in the crow's nest, and I'm the lad up there.
Right.
And I can look around.
Lad.
And I've got I can spot things off in the distance. I get like a really, you'd call it a bird's eye view.
Right, yeah. From the crow's nest.
Yes, who would have thought?
Yeah.
And then back down behind the wheel, a bit of R1 gives you, then you're looking through your glasses.
Right.
And then you can also spot things that are slightly further away.
Right.
You have a range of weaponry. I was playing as the kind of medium class ship. So I had the ability to ram people by...
That's a fun one.
I guess, I don't know if we were just trimming the sails really well. And, you would do the old, you have to be alongside somebody to launch your cannon at them.
Broadside.
Assassin's Creed is much more forgiving about... certainly the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because it's archers, so they have more of a range of fire.
Yeah.
This is quite strict. If you really want to get your big guns on someone, you have to broadside, and you want to be going across their, you want to catch them at a right angle effectively so they can't fire back at you.
Yes, ideally,
we're bracing if if there are, fire coming towards us.
Yes.
So that we take as little damage as possible.
Do you brace for big waves as well? Do you know?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Ships have health. Different for different classes, but you get repairs. Even if you're in the middle of a combat, you can whack up a repair by holding up on the D-pad.
Right.
Everybody it's a really short kind of 3-second animation where everyone's like, let's just fix some stuff.
Hammer something to something else
quickly. And if you cannot get a broadside on people, if you can't fire all your cannons, if you're looking at more of an angle, you have 2 cannonballs with a chain on
to take down the mast.
Take down the mast, and I was firing them at a bit of an angle instead.
That is a cool weapon.
Yeah, and I don't know what the other ship's kind of special abilities are, because I didn't play as them. But mine was like a burst of speed, I guess given to us by the oars, where we would try, and we had like a ramming implement at the front of the ship, and we would try, and it was a ram, and it's actually quite hard to aim. You're very difficult to steer once you have set that bad boy in motion. Yeah. But the thing which really, I know this is nerdy as hell probably, but I mean, not that I know anything about sailing, clearly, but the thing that really got to me was the use of the wind is completely different from, it's like the thing that it's like we've all been playing in the baby pool,
Right, okay.
And then suddenly and now for Skull and Bones in our real naval warfare game, there is wind. And you're like, oh, what does that mean? And what it means is, you go, obviously the wind is prevalent in a particular direction. It can shift around, I think. You're going to go faster if you're going with the wind.
Yes.
And the more you're going against the wind, the harder it is to stay where you're going.
Right.
Going against the wind is almost impossible.
Yeah.
And it means, so there was a scenario where I saw 2 people ships, other players.
Right. Yes.
They were fighting each other, and also they had drawn a contingent of Portuguese ships as well.
Right.
And I was waiting to see who would win, and I was going to come in and
the honourable thing,
try and mess them up. Yeah. And the Portuguese ships had surrounded one guy, so I was like, that guy is, he's the one who's going to go. And the other guy is coming in at an angle.
Yeah.
And the wind is unfortunately it's blowing from that guy to me basically, so I can't head straight for him.
Right.
So I went around the wind, knowing that. I mean, I could have gone this way, you know what I mean, and I would have been pushed further towards where the other people were fighting.
Yes.
But instead, I went around the wind so that I could then pick up speed,
go with it,
and push towards him.
Yeah.
Go past, and then I've got my ram. I've got a broadside.
Options.
Yeah.
Options.
And so basically, straight lines are not your friend.
Right.
And you're going to want tactical use of the weather is going to be like a really important thing, and that's.
I think that's cool.
It was one of them demos where I had one of the developers from the studio in my earpiece.
Yeah.
And obviously he's trying to tell me I'm doing well because he wants me to like his game. But there was only one bit where, and which is why I think it was genuine, where I tried to maneuver with the wind, and he said that's the correct way to use the wind. And I was like, yes.
Yes, I'm taking that.
Yeah, I am.
You're one step closer to becoming a
master
and
commander.
Okay, just sailor I was going for. You've ramped it up a little bit higher there, but
so,
you've got to have aspirations.
Skull and Bones, Matt, I think it'll be really good fun, and I'm really looking forward to us getting to play more on the channel.
Absolutely,
and just showing a bit more of it as well. So that's basically all I've got, man.
That was amazing. I really enjoyed it, Nath. I'm really, really excited about this game. As I said, Rob and I spoke immediately as soon as Black Flag
your
came
idea,
out.
isn't it?
So yeah, I think it was. Maybe they saw something on the channel. As soon as we saw it, we thought, my God, they could just make this a whole game.
No one else thought that.
Lo and behold, at last we've got it. Let us know in the comments below if you're looking forward to Skull and Bones, and what are you looking forward to about it, and what do you want to know about it. We can find that out at some later point in time. Like this video if you liked it, and do subscribe so you don't miss anything else from the world of PlayStation.